everyone. I am Debbie Henry, and this is your Hartwell Hustle. Today, we have something interesting and special and exciting. And I really don't even know how to begin to talk about it. So today we have I want to get this right, Lake Hartwell divers with us. When I came to town, I heard about them, and a lot of people may not even know who they are and that they're here and that they service our area. So no pun intended, but we're going to dive right in. So I want to welcome 𝗪𝗵𝘆 to us.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell us a little bit, before we get into the business of it, tell us a little bit about who you are.
I'm from Anderson, South Carolina originally. Lived there my whole life, 43 years. Grew up just lake, diving. My dad was a diver. We used to go to Kiwi every week, and we had a little cove up there we go to, and that's where I started diving around 11. I started diving shallow and then just progressed.
And you just had a love for it?
It was something else, something
Wow.
other people don't get to see.
Wow.
And it's just something I took to and enjoy doing. So
Wow.
I've kept doing it all these years.
Okay. And, you may wonder why we're talking about divers or lake divers. Well, these guys and girls, I guess.
That's right.
Men and women, they are, they're not just divers to have fun. They will come, if you lose something, they're going to come and help you find it. And there's lots of other things they do as well, and we'll get into that. But we're glad to have you here today.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell us, how did the Hartwell Lake Divers get started?
I joined, I lost my dad back in, I believe it was 2005. It's been so long. I'm horrible with dates nowadays. I lost my dad back in around 2005. Couldn't get air anymore because I wasn't certified. I was certified by my dad. So
okay.
No certification. So at dive shops, you have to have a certification to be able to get air. I ended up going and getting my certification where I could start getting air again.
And when you say air that keeps you going when you're diving.
Yep.
Okay.
When the breathing air that you get from the tanks usually comes from the dive shop. So they do require you to be certified to do it. So I did go back, get certified. I ended up getting on I was working on jet skis at the time. It was about 2000, I can't remember, maybe 2013. A lady had crashed. I was working on a jet ski up on Hartwell, and a lady crashed her jet ski. I think she come off of it and it broke her hips. I heard a lady screaming in the middle of the lake. So I jumped on one of the jet skis I was working on, had blue jeans on, cowboy boots, and I went out to her, jumped off in the water to help her. She did tell me that she couldn't feel her legs and stuff. So I figured her hips or something were broke where the jet ski had hit her. Her daddy they're actually realtors for RE/MAX. Her daddy owns RE/MAX in Greenville, I believe. I ended up swimming about 45 minutes towards the shore. Ended up seeing somebody down on the lake because when I jumped off my jet ski, mine went away, and hers was away too. So I swam her back to shore. Ended up getting about probably 100 feet from shore. And I seen a lady who was reading a book on the dock. It was a day nobody was on the water. I screamed to her to call 911, and I heard sirens probably 30 minutes, and finally somebody got to us, and I got her up to the shore, got her out. She ended up making full recovery. So that day, the dive team that the rescue team that come to help us in the boats and stuff was like, you might think about joining us. So I ended up joining the dive team, which is Anderson Technical Rescue in Anderson. And I think that was around 2014. And once I joined them, we started doing recoveries if people drown. And then my friends would call me and, and say, hey, a buddy of mine lost something. Could you come get it? And I was like, sure, I'll do it. So I started doing that, and it went out of control.
It's like I mentioned, when I first came, or even before I lived here full time, I heard about your team.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you lose your phone, you lose your glasses, anything basically. But let's go back a little bit. How many people are on your team?
There's about 6 of us probably.
Okay.
About 3 of us dive pretty regular. And then my wife, kids, they'll dive sometimes.
Oh, your kids do? How old are they?
25, 26.
Okay.
So they'll dive sometimes.
Okay.
But they got their own little thing they do now, so they don't want to get out in the water to get tired of diving. So
right.
Every now and then I can get them to do something. So
okay. So tell us some of the things that people have. What is the strangest thing that you had to dive for?
That can go a long ways.
I was going to say, or should you even say it on TV?
Strange could go a long ways. We've helped amputees that have lost they have swimming legs, usually from the knee down.
Really?
They will have a swimming leg, and I don't know if they change it to make it stainless where they don't rust or have problems like that. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I've actually responded here in Hartwell. She actually lost from the knee down. It was what they call her swimming leg. Had come off, and it was probably 10 o'clock at night. I went out and found it.
Wow.
And got it back to her, and they say they're super, super expensive. The insurance company won't cover them.
Really?
As far as a loss, if you lose them, I don't think the insurance company would cover that part.
Yeah.
They'll cover the one they have to use every day,
right.
but not the one that they
use
for recreational.
For fun.
Yeah.
Well, I had a friend, and I believe her granddaughter, very, very young, lost her. She had something she had to wear for diabetes.
Yep.
And lost that.
We do those too. We get those a lot. A lot of the meters they have on their arms,
right?
With the little needle that sticks in their arm, and it monitors their blood glucose levels. We get those a lot.
That's crazy.
I don't know if they work afterwards, but I think they have to have them to turn them back in to get new ones.
Okay.
So they won't cover them unless they have them.
Okay. So walk us through a typical call from the time that you get the call. Do you send it out to somebody else? Do you take it? Walk us through that process.
Well, most of us are law enforcement.
Okay.
So my wife and my son both are deputies. I'm law enforcement as well. So we work on a 6-month schedule.
Okay.
So we work 2 days on, 2 days off, and get every other weekend. So when it all adds up to about 6 months out of the year. So when I'm on shift, I will have somebody else available. When they're on shift, I'm available. So we just try to work it out. However, we'll call whoever we need to get somebody out there. We try to make it where you can get a diver as fast as you can order pizza.
Wow.
So if you call Domino's to get pizza, we try to make it where you can get a diver in the same amount of time.
Wow.
So, to get your stuff back.
Wow. So do they tell you on the phone, or do you kind of?
A lot of times what they'll do, they'll call us or text us and say, hey, I lost something. Our response to them is, yes, we can help you. Send us your address, and we come by car. Most of the time, they'll send us their address, and then we will put it in our phone, see how long it takes us to get there. It takes me usually about 35, 45 minutes to get anywhere here in Hartwell, and we'll load up. We already have a car ready to go, which is a little dive car you see on there, the little smart car. We have it loaded all the time with gear. We jump in it and come straight here, and then we'll walk out on their dock. They say we lost it here or over there. We'll drop a marker down and we'll go get it.
Wow.
Day or night.
Wow. So let's talk about night. So it's dark and the water's murky. And so how is that?
In some places, there's some places down here in Hartwell City that are super beautiful, and the water is just as good as it is at 𝗪𝗄. You could go a cove over and it'll be like chocolate milk. It just depends on where you're at and what kind of bottom you're dealing with. But there's a lot of good places here in Hartwell that are just as clear as 𝗪𝗄.
Okay.
It just depends on the bottom.
Yeah.
But yeah, at nighttime, you're a little more focused because you don't have as much visibility.
Do you use a light or anything when you go in?
We have lights to do it. Sometimes lights don't matter. Sometimes you have to go down in the dark and just feel for it. So if most people tell us where it's at, we use a little marker line, and we will drop down the marker line with it in our hand. And once we get to the bottom, we will just start feeling for it.
Okay.
And that's how we find them most of the time.
So have you ever gone down for something and come back with something else?
We do it a lot.
Oh, really?
If you go somewhere like Jumping Rocks or the Swings, we've went out for cell phones, and we go down and we find a cell phone, come back up. They say, that's not mine. So we have to go back down. It's just where people's lost it before and maybe not knew there's a service out there to get that kind of stuff out of the lake. So a lot of people know about us now, so we don't find as much anymore, because when somebody loses something, somebody usually will know us and they'll call us. So
what do you do with the things that you bring back up? You don't have a clue who they.
Well, we get a lot of Apple Watches. and iPhones.
Okay.
Androids, not so much. They don't work as, Androids probably work maybe 10% of the time. We're probably 98% on iPhones and Apple Watches.
Wow.
We found some that have been down an entire summer and they still work.
That's a commercial for Apple.
So iPhones and Apple Watches, they have medical ID. And I don't know, a lot of people probably don't know this. If you do put your medical ID information in there, that's the way, if you had a crash or something, law enforcement gets your phone and it's locked, we can hit the buttons on it and it'll show your medical ID and your emergency contact. If you don't have that emergency contact in there, we can't find you because we cannot get into an iPhone. So if there are medical IDs on there, we'll charge them up. And if we see the emergency contact, we'll reach out to them and say, hey, we have your phone or your watch. And a lot of times it's there. So, and then those people are just, ecstatic. This is no way you found it. I lost it in a lake a year ago. I was like, well, I have it in my hand.
So what's the most valuable thing that you've ever found?
We found an engagement ring just a few weeks ago. I think it was after Memorial Day. Was it Memorial Day? Can't remember. Actually, that's one of the ones that NBC Nightly News picked up.
So you've been on national news?
Several times. Yeah,
okay, y'all.
Several times.
We have a star here.
Yeah, several times we've been on news. Last year we were on NBC Nightly News. We found a ring that had been down for 25 years.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
How did you figure out who it belonged to?
Well, they actually called us. They had got separated. They separated back in the 90s. I was still in school. I think I was in elementary school when they lost it. They went through a divorce, was going through a divorce. He lost a lot of weight and was just down on his brother's dock, which his brother still owns to this day. They just swapped out the docks from an old dock to a new one. So we had a general area about where it was. So here, 25 years fast forward, he worked out the problems that he was having back then, and him and his wife were back together again.
You are kidding me.
Yeah, and he wanted to know if it was possible to find this ring, and I said, yeah, it's very possible. So I spent 4 days under his brother's new dock, which had a longer gangway, and I just went by pictures, water depths back then, and just tried to get me to narrow it down to a smaller area, which I narrowed it down to about a 10-foot by 20-foot area, and 4 days of digging, and I got it.
That is brilliant. That's brilliant on your part, but I mean, it speaks to the passion that you have.
But it would not have been possible if I did not have this group and the people in the group, which is about 17,000 people here locally that support us and donate to us over the years. And we've been able to buy this equipment that we normally couldn't afford.
And that's one thing I wanted to talk about, because I understand that you don't charge.
Yeah, we do charge now.
You do?
Well,
okay, good.
We have a minimum now. Used to, we do donation only. When I first started in 2021, it was a donation only. It got to be where on a weekly basis, we were going, most of the time for a dive for us, it's 45 minutes one way, 45 minutes back. We got to where every single one of us were having people that would give us nothing. Some people give us $10, $20. It wouldn't barely cover the gas. Right. And at some point, you got to say, we can't do this, because this is not what we do for a living.
Well, and those people might turn into repeat customers that still pay you nothing.
Absolutely. So they got so comfortable with us coming out, doing it on a donation basis. And a lot of them will be like, give me your Cash App or Venmo. We'd leave. They never do anything. Never send us anything. Whether they forgot or whatever, it don't know.
If you're out there, we're going to put his information, and you can still pay him. Yeah, for sure. But we did. We had. It was happening pretty regular. Okay. So it was harder. It was getting harder for me to get people to come out and do it, because we got to have gas, food. Right. I mean, we're taking every dive. We're taking 2 hours out of our day. Yeah. No matter what we're doing, if we're at home cutting grass or we plan on going somewhere and somebody calls us, we try to go. Right. That's our goal, and it's been our goal since I started, is to get there as fast as we can to get your stuff out of the water. So some of this stuff is very precious, just like the lady's, the amputee's leg. I mean, that's something that, she's standing there with nothing. Right. And she's thinking the worst case that we're not going to be able to find it, or it's not even possible, but it is. Right. It's very possible. So what is that minimum charge?
It's $100.
Okay.
We just started doing a minimum of $100, and that takes care of our gas, and our equipment. We tear equipment up pretty regular because we're diving so much, and it helps us a lot. And then it helps us go out here and give life jackets out to kids. We do. I've done that since 21. I started in 21 after I recovered a 3-year-old little girl out of Lake 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝘀 from her dock, and it's something positive that we can do. And if we can save one kid by giving them a jacket, they may be a parent out there to have 5 kids, 4 or 5 kids, and they can't afford $30, $40 a piece for life jackets. So they just, they gamble with those kids' lives because they think that, oh, well, I'm here. If something happens, I can go save them. And it might not be that time they get to do that. Right. And it also saves me as the diver that, and there's many other divers out there that do what I do as far as drownings and stuff. All that's volunteer. I don't know of any dive team that gets paid to do it. We all do it for free. But what people don't realize is when we recover somebody, like the 3-year-old little girl, I still have nightmares.
Well, I was going to say that would really, really take a toll on you.
Mentally.
Yes.
It's just it's something you never recover from.
I can't even imagine.
And that's another thing we provide when we go out to docks here in Hartwell. A lot of people will tell you that we spend time with you. If the kids are there, we spend time with them, and we'll talk to parents about water safety, electricity in the water, which is a big deal. We've been shocked here in Hartwell several times per year, and we try to lead people on to water safety and stuff that'll help them stop that.
Have you, and I hate to even ask this, but have you ever lost any members of your team due to a dive?
No, never had any major injuries. We've had a couple of our members get shocked really good, and most of the people that we got shocked on their docks, they said, yeah, we've noticed that when you come back and grab the ladder, it's tingly and stuff like that. That's electricity in the water. That's something you do not need to play with.
Well, and I would encourage, my profession's a realtor, and I encourage people who buy lake homes to hire you guys to come and do a swim around the outside.
And that's something we do as well.
Because if you're going to have grandkids jumping in the water, or guests could jump, or you or anybody jumping in the water off the dock, you want to know what's underneath that water. And you can safely say, we've had it checked out. You all do that.
So
I know that because I've had to do it.
we provide that service as well. We provide services to realtors. If realtors are wanting to check the water, you see a lot of realtors advertising deep water. We will come out and check the water. We'll check where your kids are going to jump off at. If it's a 2-story dock and they're jumping off the top, we'll check it as well. We'll give you the depths, and we'll make sure nothing's there, no trees. Hartwell was built with trees standing. A lot of times in the bigger water, say 50 foot or so, they brought the water up from the standing trees to about 30 feet. When the water got up 30 feet, they cut the tops off of them. They fell to the bottom. Those trees are still standing to this day. They are still well preserved. So we go out and check and make sure.
So let's talk about your territory, because someone watching this, they may be on a different lake.
Yep.
How far do you go?
We'll go anywhere that is feasible. If somebody, just say you lost something very precious and you're 3 or 4 hours away, we will come and we will help you. As far as the fee that we charge, if it's somebody out there that don't have the money, we will not charge you. We will come get it. So if you don't have the money and you let us know, hey, I'm on fixed income, I just don't have the money, we'll come anyway. Okay. So we just did the fee for people that can afford it. Right.
Right. So if someone drops, they're on their boat, their keys are right here, and they drop their boat, their keys in the water, what would you advise someone to go after their keys or to let them go and call you guys?
They make markers now. A lot of people use them for fishing. They use them. It's actually like a little buoy with like really thin string on it with a weight, like a lead weight. You can carry those on your boat, even an anchor line. If you have a lot of people have anchor lines. Some people have graphs on their boats. Even pontoons now, a lot of the newer boats have graphs on them with a mark where you can mark the spot that you're at with GPS. If you lose something in the lake, just say you're sitting on an anchor, hit the mark button, go on your cell phone and take a screenshot of your location where you're at. We can add that into our boat and get back in the same vicinity, and it gives us a very good probability to find what you lost. Water depths is not really a problem. I'm certified to 130 feet. We don't like to do recoveries at 130 feet unless it's absolutely necessary, just for the danger of it. It's just not worth going down to try to get somebody's Apple Watch at 130 feet.
Right.
Because at 130 feet, it's a life or death situation if something happens.
Okay.
Diving off docks, there's no risk, really. We can come up if we run out of air for some reason. That don't happen. But if it did happen, we can come up from that. So.
So what should people never do if they lose something on the way?
We encourage you not to try to get it.
Okay.
A lot of people will drop phones, other items, keys off of docks. A lot of places in Hartwell, sometimes they're from 6 inches to all the way to your elbow worth of silt. If you go with a magnet and you start hitting and you don't get them, a lot like cell phones will not stick to a magnet. We've tried it. There's just not enough metal in there to grab it.
Okay.
If you start doing that, just say you have a rock bottom below your dock, you just don't know. Well, if that phone's there and you start hitting it with that magnet, you're going to tear the phone up worse than, it being in the water. So we tell people if you lose something, especially jewelry, if you lose jewelry, do not use your feet to try to get it. Call us and let us come out and get it.
Because it'll just dig itself further.
It will bury itself. Most of the time, you're not going to feel it because there's so much stuff on the bottom the same size. You're not going to feel it with your feet. All you're going to do is push it down, make it harder for us to find it. All we need to know is where you were when you dropped it and mark the spot. Let us come do it because we have very expensive metal detectors that we can use underwater, and we have the skill set to do it. So it just makes it a lot easier for us to do that.
Well, and the question I was going to ask you, you've already answered for me, because I was going to say, is there a window of time after somebody loses something? But
no
you
window.
Explained the ring.
Yeah,
so,
and a lot of people, as far as cell phones, iPhones, preferably, if you go to Google, iPhones will say that iPhone is waterproof at like 3 meters for 30 minutes. That we have proven over 1,000 times to be false. I imagine that's a liability thing for them. They can't tell you that it'll last a year because then they're going to have to warranty that.
Right.
iPhones are, as long as they're not busted, not talking about your screen protectors. A lot of them are cracked. We're talking about the physical phone being cracked where the water can get inside of it. Most of the time when they build those, they put them together with glue. So they spray them when they put them together. So they're waterproof. I've took them out of 90 feet of water, and I've took phones that have been down for an entire summer, from summer to next summer. And we be out there. We went out one time on Lake Hartwell. I'm still friends with them to this day. Her friend had dropped her phone. It was an iPhone 13. She dropped it in the water. They didn't know about us then. A year later, they were pulling their boat into the dock, and they had a wakeboard rack on it and knocked the wakeboard rack into the water. And they called us and said, hey, can you come get it? No problem. I went out, I got it, and they said, hey, just for fun, we had a friend of ours drop her phone here last year, and if you could find it, we would just like to take and give it back to her just to be funny, like a gag gift. So I did. I found it, and we walked back up to the house with it, plugged it in, it come right on. Had a picture of her and her grandkids in there on her phone. So they actually charged it up, and they met her at the gym, and they had it rolled up in a paper, and they handed it to her. And she's like, that is crazy. And then as soon as she opened it, the phone was on.
How many, just guessing, how many phones would you say that you've pulled out?
Over 1,000. We do probably, I would say, roughly 300 to 500 a year.
Is that the most common thing?
Most common thing is phones, yeah. And iPhones are pretty much the majority of that. So Apple Watches. We do a lot of jewelry, a lot of boat keys. So being in law enforcement, have you ever pulled a phone out of the water and gone, something about this is not right. It needs to be turned in. Yeah. Oh, you have? We hadn't really, never really run into any kind of weapons or murder weapons, stuff like that, like people think. Guns are made out of steel, usually, or heavy metals. The lake water in Hartwell is very acidic. So if, just say, we found some rifles before and turned them in to the police in Georgia. over in Franklin County, not Franklin County, but Elberton, Georgia. I actually found a long rifle. Most of the time they'll be rusted beyond recognition, but you could tell it's a gun, but nothing that you could use. I found some ATMs that people have threw into the water. They were just no evidentiary value for law enforcement. Did that in Anderson. I actually found some cash registers that were stolen from a Dollar General, just doing a fun dive around a dock. And I think they had like $1 in them. Again, we called law enforcement. It said there's no evidence that we could get from it because it's been in the lake so long. But that's about the extent to finding the evidence, you know.
Okay. Well, as we wrap up, what if you could tell the viewers one thing, what would you say? Related to diving.
Related to diving, we want you to be safe out here on the water. Water safety is a big thing for us. We have multiple law enforcement agencies that are out giving out life jackets that we provide them, which the people from my group provide to us. We have an Amazon wish list on Facebook.
Oh, good.
On our Facebook group. You can join our Facebook group even if you have kids. Everything is kid friendly. There's no negativity on my group whatsoever.
And we will pop that up. We'll pop that information up.
But you can, if you can't get to the lake, you want to watch our dives. We video every dive almost, so you can actually see us go down and get them. The amputee leg here in Hartwell that we recovered from a house just not far from here. It's all on video, so you can watch me do it. The cell phones, the people that still out there say that they're not waterproof or they won't work. It's not a problem. Go watch the videos. They're on when I find them. As soon as I bring them up, people will usually Cash App us or Venmo from that phone. So,
well, I want to thank you. I mean, this has been enlightening and informative for me.
Yeah, we could probably sit here and talk for hours.
I know. When you came in, I thought, man.
And the stories go from you know.
You should write a book.
I wish. I just don't have the time.
I understand. Maybe someday. But I tell you, I mean, this is really a gift that you're giving to the community and you and your team. And I personally want to thank you for it because I just don't know. I mean, I've never heard of this, of a group doing this. And
now you'll see them all over the country, like Lake Lanier, they do them down there. So divers are popping up everywhere starting to do it because I guess back in the day that just wasn't available. Which back then our phones wasn't waterproof either, so it would be senseless to spend money to try to get it. But we'll do anything water related. So
well, you certainly are a gift to this community, and if you have not paid him, you need to pay him up. You need to pay up.
Yeah.
But also give them a call or give it as a gift. Give them a gift. Give someone a gift card. Give them it's just a really cool thing.
And if they want to help us out with the life jacket that we give out, you can buy specific life jackets. If you want a certain kind of life jacket for us to give the kids, you can go on Amazon, buy them, send them to our address. Only thing we ask is they're new and they're Coast Guard approved. If you have used jackets, we'll take those and we'll put them on the pegboards. And all we're trying to do is save somebody's life.
Thank you. We
get drownings here every year on Hartwell, Greenwood, Abbeville. We do them all. So Lake 𝗪𝗆𝗄, Lake 𝗪𝗁𝗃, it don't matter. We'll go wherever. But yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. And I hope you've learned something today and learned about one of the gifts that Hartwell has that helps make us click. This is the Hartwell Hustle. I'm Debbie Henry, and we'll see you next time.